football preseason action in Canton. Will Selva is on the West Coast this morning with some news for you on the Thursday.
What's going on there, Kay and guys? In a good mood, better mood than Carl Lewis is right now. Just look at his Twitter account. Woo! Talk about scathing at this point in time. Yes, no, very hot takes from Carl Lewis every 4 years.
Carl was not happy with
him
the relay.
The coach of the relay team. No. Neither of us are. Right. Yeah. No.
Keep it right here on NFL Network. Go ahead, Will.
Checking on your phone while you watch.
Exactly.
Carl Lewis takes.
Thank you, Kay, guys. Yes, we're here for it. Kenny Golladay, we're here for him as well. The wide receiver was counted on to lead the receiving corps in New York after signing that 4-year, $72 million contract in the offseason. But it appears that he is going to be, he's going to be sidelined for a bit after suffering a slight hamstring pull in practice on Tuesday. But luckily for the G-Men, it doesn't appear to be too serious. Head coach Joe Judge saying that the worst-case scenario seems to have been avoided. Golladay will undergo more tests as a precaution. Meanwhile, Colts quarterback Carson Wentz is expected to miss 5 to 12 weeks following foot surgery, leaving second-year quarterback Jacob Eason potentially at the helm. Our very own Tom Pelissero caught up with Frank Reich one-on-one and asked him his thoughts on potentially going after a veteran quarterback.
Jacob's done well. He had a particularly good day today. That's really all we're focused on. Chris and I really haven't been talking about trades or anything like that. We're focused on the guys we got. We're happy with our quarterback room. We're going to continue to push those guys to get them better and think we have a good supporting cast and can play winning football with the roster we have.
Now, Eason did not take a snap in 2020, and the only quarterback on the roster with any sort of experience is Brett Hundley, who was recently signed, and he appeared in 18 games, starting 9 of them. But there is a potential veteran that I could see that maybe they would want to give a call to that has some familiarity, let's just say, in Indianapolis. Okay, guys.
Yeah, there's a couple. I think Peyton Manning's busy. I don't know. We'll talk to you in a little bit. Yeah, let's get to Phillip Rivers, who did say he's going to stay in football shape in case the team reaches out in need of a veteran quarterback this season. In my head, they like Eason enough to not have Jacoby Brissett still on the roster. So there's there's the Nick Foles rumors and Phillip Rivers rumors. I guess now I tried to throw Andrew Luck into the mix, but we can't find him. He's in a log cabin somewhere. If you were Carson Wentz, how would you be approaching the situation, Nate? Carson Wentz vantage point.
Rivers and Luck? Ooh, I saw RG3 working out too. I think he wants back in the league. If you're Carson Wentz, what can you do? The only thing that you can do is sit down, rehab, wait, and then when it's your opportunity to get back on the field, earn your position back. I don't think there's anything else. Now, if he wants to go through mental therapy as well as physical therapy, that's on him. But as far as being able to do something that can control the outcome when he comes back, he can't. I don't care if you can trade for Nick Foles or if you bring in Rivers or if you have one of these guys on the roster step up and they're the starter. Either way, you're going to have to come back and earn your spot. Because as of right now, we don't know what Carson Wentz looks like as a starting quarterback for the Colts. As fans removed from the game, we can say that. As players on the rosters, they can also say that. People within the organization, the front office, and the coaching staff, they also can say that. I bring that up because nobody knows. So when he comes back, you think everybody's going to say, oh, here he is. Now we have our savior. No, we didn't even know if it was going to work in the first place. Did he look good during the summer? Yeah. Are we all excited about him being back with Frank Reich? Yeah, of course. But he's still going to have to earn his spot. That's all you have to do. Sit down, rehab, and earn your spot when it's time.
Can you imagine, though, like what this guy's been through? I know injury is part of the game. And this is really unusual. And I know that Carson is a man of deep faith. Like, I'm glad. You'd have to tap into this now. What is it, Peter? Footsteps, that's when I carried you? I think that's right now. Because, look, again, everybody gets injured. It's fine. The Philly thing was crazy.
It was.
Crazy. He was about to be the face of the National Football League. The knee blows out. And then, oh my gosh, now you're part of a Disney movie where the backup quarterback comes in and wins the Super Bowl. You just have to stand there. Fine. You get through it. You're sitting there watching the most glorious day in Philadelphia sports history. The guy gets a statue who replaces you. This is all really tough. Fine. We've talked about it a lot. This is brutal. You get a new, fresh lease on life. Here we go. Coach Reich, and they believe in me, and I'm going to win, and I'm in a dome, and I got Quentin Nelson, and I got a running game, and I got a defense. He's on the field for 5 seconds, and it's done. And now, like, look, he takes heat. Eagles fans already make fun of him openly. Yeah. Colts fans are rolling their eyes and pulling their hair out in 5 seconds. So what can you do? Like, if Carson Wentz has an edge, like any edge to him, like any dog, which we don't really see from him, just get mad, get furious, destroy, dominate your rehab, and come back and be like, I don't care if they put Joe Montana out there for the Colts. This is my job and my team. I don't know if he's that guy. I've never heard him speak like that, think like that. And if you follow a lot of what went on in Philly, he doesn't have that. That's what I would do.
Yeah, and the Philly market was such a pressure cooker where you almost gave him a pass and said, okay, it's a new lease on life, and this Indianapolis fan base isn't going to have the same baggage with Carson Wentz that they had. But the first thing out of the gate is his foot injury, which from what it sounds like is a freak injury, which is what kills you. It's not like he was going on a motorcycle without his helmet on or he was joyriding in a parking lot. Like a freak injury. And you just have to feel for Carson. Now, I know you say, well, he makes millions of dollars and he's got it all written for him and Frank Reich is his protector and all this stuff. It's like, you got to be so internally strong right now and so mentally strong right now. And not everyone is. Like, if we're learning anything this month with the Olympics and the conversation, like, it's going to be a lot up here for him, and he's going to need a strong support staff. And gosh, I reach out to Carson on this show and just say, like, just stay as strong as you can, because I can only imagine being so competitive and wanting it so badly and your body just not cooperating. And then on the outside, hearing everyone say, get him out, replace him, like he's not the answer. I'm fascinated to see how it plays out, what they do front office-wise. I don't think they can start the season with Jacob Eason as the quarterback and just hope for Carson Wentz. I just can't imagine that. This team is too built to win right now. Are they really going to be putting out a second-year quarterback who was truly not a top prospect? I would be really hard-pressed to think that's going to be it. But, I mean, I trust Chris Ballard, the GM, more than I would trust. I would think that would be an opportunity squandered. That roster can win right now, and they can get a jump start in the game. They see a competent quarterback there.
From the front office perspective, it's how much confidence do we have in Eason to do this, and then how much confidence do you have in a quarterback that's had injury history coming back pretty soon. And I hate to keep doing this because I love the Colts. I think they're built really well. Their schedule is so ugly to start the season. Like, it adds insult to injury if you want to take a look at it. I mean, Seahawks, Rams, Titans, Dolphins, Ravens, 5 teams right off the bat that had double-digit games, that won double-digit games last year. So if things go badly, Schrags, the season could be over by the time Carson Wentz gets back. So I ask you, to go from Carson's perspective to the front office and Chris Ballard, if Philip Rivers says he's on board and you can get him in camp right now, do you do it?
Yeah, absolutely. I think so. I don't think it's a threat to Carson Wentz. I say if Philip feels like he retired, they would have had him back last year, I think. It wasn't like it was a mutual thing. Now, the Chargers, they were fine with him walking out the door. They're ready to turn the page and go to Herbert. But this roster is so good and so young that they're going to have to pay all these guys in the next few years. Like, Darius Leonard still hasn't gotten his big contract. Jonathan Taylor still hasn't gotten his big contract.
Philip got him to the playoffs last year.
Hey, Philip, you want to come back for 1 year 20, 1 year 18, 1 year 15? Like,
but what if it's not, Peter? Like, you said you wouldn't go with Eason. Like, is there a name? Like, what should they do?
Yeah, I mean, if Foles was a third-string quarterback, I would really consider it, considering his familiarity with the offense. He can step right in and do it. I think beyond that, I'm looking at like guys like RG3 would have to learn the offense.
Right. But you missed this early in the week. Where do you come out on the Foles thing and what it would do to Wentz?
Yeah, like, could crush Wentz.
Right?
Okay,
absolutely. No, listen, Kyle he's making a point because you missed this conversation. Yeah. And, I kind of snapped back at Kyle and Kay because they were like, well, it's going to be tough. Mentally, it's going to be a little bit of a strain for Foles to come in. Do you think that